How's it going, y'all? Welcome to today's video. So as you can see behind me, we're going to do some work on the daily Matrix XRS and show you guys right now what we got, what we got to do, and we'll go from there. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I haven't done it so long, I don't even know how these intros start again, but we're going to get into it. So let's go ahead and start the intro. Let's get it. Alright guys, what's going on? It's been such a long time since I've actually made a video that I don't even remember how these start or how I used to start them, but either way, we have the Matrix XRS up on jack stands. We are going to be doing some much needed preventative maintenance today, starting off with the motor mounts, which is going to be very crucial. This is the front one right there. This is the rear one. And then we also have some goodies from Monkey Wrench Racing, which is going to be the rear main seal right here, OEM Toyota rear main seal. And then we have the inspection plate as well, which there's the part number if you want to go ahead and get one for the 1ZZ and the 2ZZ, both the same. Complete EXEDY clutch with the alignment tool, throw out, bearing, the actual disc itself, and then the diaphragm, as well as the grease that you put on. So really excited. Haven't even really opened it further than this. So the reason why I'm doing the motor mounts is because in the video that I installed this engine cold air intake, I noticed in the driving video where I put my camera in the engine bay watching the footage, which I'll put the footage here. Watching that footage, I noticed the engine going back and forth really violently, which I didn't really think about too much. I was like, okay, well, when I do the clutch, I'll go ahead and do the motor mounts as well. What really got me though and shocked me, which I didn't think this was possible, but the engine shook so much that this intake hose clamp from engine actually loosened up, and it was down here more, and this whole cold air intake popped off, which made it so that the car would stall. And it was just one of those things where it was like the worst day for it to happen. I was coming back from work in traffic after, you know, a really bad shift at work, and my car started stalling out, which I ended up having to keep the car running, to keep the engine running. I had to clutch in, rev it up just to make sure it was getting air. And right off the bat, I got a lean code. My mind was like kind of spiraling, trying to figure out what was going on, and ended up being a lean code, which then I decided to check my engine bay, and the cold air intake was just kind of plopped to the side. All right guys, so we just got done with pulling the intake off. I do have to take off the core support. Thank you, shout out to Mark for giving me that tip. So we're gonna drop this later on in the video and reseal it, because as you can see, there's fluid everywhere, and I think it's seeping out from the RTV, which I don't even know what RTV they used. It looks like white almost. I don't know if you can see that, but it almost looks white. I'm gonna put the FIPG on, like some good stuff from Toyota, so we'll go ahead and get that done and go from there. And also the power steering hose is leaking, the one that I put on makeshift. If you guys can see it up there, it is definitely leaking right up here. I have the other power steering hose that actually is supposed to be on this car. I have that, so we're gonna go ahead and throw that on. So a lot of stuff to do, so let's keep going and get this thing done. All right, we got the transmission out, and it wasn't too hard actually. the hardest part was the engine mount right back there, which is quite difficult to get out. I went through here though, which you can have a really good access to it from there. I feel like everything on this fought me, which was not the worst thing in the world. This is probably the worst one. It definitely is the worst one to get to, because that long bolt right there is connected like this. So it's connected like this. That's exactly how it's connected. And that's just, I don't know who came up with that idea, but that's ridiculous. It was so hard to get that out. The clutch that is in it currently, the one that we're gonna replace, is a Luck, L-U-K. It's like you can get them on like Rock Auto, a bunch of other places, but yeah, that didn't have the best throwout bearing, unfortunately. So yeah, this thing, whew, that was not fun at all, but it was definitely worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this up really well, as nicely as possible. Take this off, take the flywheel off, take the rear main seal off, get the rear main seal done and dusted. And I'm actually really looking forward to getting a new clutch, because we have all the components for this car to drive so smoothly. We have the monkey wrench, short shifter, we have the Frankenstein shifter bushings, and now we just need a clutch. I don't know when the last time this clutch got changed, because it looks like it's been in there for a while. Honestly, it looks like it's probably been there its whole life. We got everything taken apart, which I'm very excited for. It only took me, I think I started this at like 10. It's only like 2 or 3 now, so it only took me a couple hours. I did drain the gear oil and engine oil. We are doing an oil change, actually. I did one in the last video, but I figured we need to go to a 10W30 instead of a 5W30, just because this engine seen its fair share of miles. I think we're at like 320,000 miles, probably under that. But so what the thicker oil is going to do, it's a 10W30, which basically means that it's still going to keep its viscosity, which is 30, but it's going to be able to keep the heat in a little bit more, so that it stays thick for longer, because then that way the engine will not be leaking as much. I am replacing the rear main seal today and the oil pan gasket, which is just RTV. I am going to be replacing those, so hopefully that will help the oil not leak out as much. But because it's an older engine and the tolerances in the piston rings and just everything in the block is so like it's not out of spec, so to speak, but it's seen its fair share of miles. So putting in this thicker oil is going to be kind of a band-aid to keep the engine running. So that's why I drained the oil, because we're going to be putting this oil in. We're not going to change the filter's fine, but we're going to change that. Oh, also, I wanted to show you guys the shirt. One of you guys sent me this anonymously, so thank you guys, I appreciate it. It has my Instagram on it on the bottom, and then it has Hamadown Restorations on it, as well as HDR here. Because of that, I decided it's my new favorite work shirt until I get the Hamadown Restoration shirts that will be going on sale for you guys to purchase. I don't know, just good work shirt, has Rasta vibes, so killing it on that. So thank you to whoever sent this to me. I appreciate it. It kind of just showed up in the mail, and I was like, heck yeah, let's run it. So yeah, let's get her done. Okay, so got the clutch off, and I honestly have no idea how much longer this clutch would have lasted, because there's literally no meat on it whatsoever. Like, this is probably just like an eBay clutch. Like, I don't know what it is, but you can tell that there used to be material or something in between, and now it's just like I can feel the two surfaces in the middle coming apart. And then I don't even know what this is. Like, it's supposed to be like a spring, but it's not. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm glad we're going to something a little bit more well-known, a lot better. You can trust EXEDY. I trust it with my life, obviously. We also have to take the flywheel off so we can get the rear main seal done. There's a technique that you can do to take the old rear main seal out and then put the new one in. So I'm gonna show you guys that like right now. So let's go ahead and take that off and then put the new one on. Let's take this wire wheel real quick and get this all nice and clean, because that right there is disgusting. And while we're here, we might as well just make it as clean as possible, so that next time we get into this section, it'll be all nice and clean. And if it's dirty, then we'll know we messed something up. But yeah, let's clean that real quick. Alright, so easiest way to get the rear main seal out, as you can see, I already got it out, but all you have to do is just take a flathead, push it into the groove, and pop it out. It won't come out that easily, but it'll come out easy enough. So here's the new one. That's the part number right there. It's gonna be, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of the old oil that was built up on the old one, and we're just gonna transfer it over to the new one on the outside. That way it just slides in a little bit better, doesn't give us as much resistance, because once this seal catches an edge, it kind of doesn't want to play nice, unfortunately. And then this is an OK seal, so you know it's OEM. Usually I'd recommend a dead blow, but because we're using the old seal to seal it in, alright, so we got the new rear main seal in, all nice and flush. We also got the transmission side nice and clean too. You're never gonna see it, but at least we'll know it's nice and clean. The bearing was pretty much toast. Like, it doesn't move that well at all. Take some of the grease. We're gonna want to grease up this point right here, because that's where the fork sits. I'm gonna grease that up, and then that's gonna go right into that space right in there. Put some grease into where the slave cylinder goes on the outside as well. Just a little bit of grease right there, and then we're gonna grease all in here. And then what you can do is, after you put the grease on, you can just spread it around with well, I'd say my fingers, but they're all dirty. So let me go ahead and, so I'm gonna dab a little bit of grease on my finger. I wanna put a little grease on these points as well. Put it all the way on like that. Make sure that it's nice and connected to the pivot. Alright guys, day 2 of getting the Matrix back together. I left it a mess out here, and I didn't even shut the hood. I was supposed to shut the hood so that if it rained, nothing would get wet. Thankfully it didn't rain though, and my goal yesterday, like the end goal, was to get the transmission back up and connected. So it is up, it is connected, so we are good on that. I'm not gonna lie though, had a late start today because, man, I am just hurting so bad. Like, I woke up and I was just hurting. Like, I don't know if it was because of all of the stress I had to put on myself yesterday to get the transmission up into where it's supposed to be, or if it's just because it took so long to get everything done, and like so much I had to exert so much effort and, you know, do all of that to get this done. Either way, we're feeling a lot better now, thankfully, and we're gonna go ahead and knock this out, get this done. So I have one rule, that as a YouTube mechanic or person that works on cars on YouTube, that I follow. I wouldn't say I follow religiously, but I follow pretty well to the T, and that is taking bolts off with a impact, but then putting them back on with hand tools or like a ratchet, because it's easier to take out bolts with the impact because sometimes there's grime and all that dirt and everything that's in the threads, but then putting them back in, you don't want to cross thread. Cross threading is one of the biggest like enemies for mechanics, because once you cross thread, it just adds a lot more time to whatever you're doing, because you gotta, if you are good about it, you'll get a tap out the threads, and then hopefully take a die and make sure that the threads on the bolt are good too, so that they're not all stripped out. That just takes a lot more time. So to prevent that, all you got to do is just put them in by hand. Takes a lot longer, yes, but it's a lot better because you can actually feel how the threads want to go. If they don't want to go, just stop, take it back out, put them in again. Easier said than done. I know, been there, done that myself, where I've just been like, you know, I'm just gonna zip it in real quick, but every single time it bites me in the ass, and that's not fun. We're gonna get this engine mount back in to line everything up so that I can drop the jack from the transmission. Next, we're gonna get that mount back there in, so that the cross member has to go in with that one. But before I put that mount in, I'm going to drop the oil pan and do everything I need to do with the oil pan. Okay, so we got the transmission mount back on, and finally have the jacks completely away from the engine and transmission. So I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna drop the oil pan just so that we can replace the RTV, clean it up, and then also fix that indentation right there that is on the engine, as well as I'm gonna probably go ahead and install the inspection plate that goes right there. Since we have everything cleaned up, I will clean it up a little bit more just so that everything's nice and tidy back together, which actually it's gonna be easier to take the engine oil pan off and then clean it. So that's what we're gonna do, but it's coming back together. That's what we want. And if you guys haven't already, definitely go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe, because I love doing these videos. One, I get to learn about the engines, and also I'm able to just kind of see how everything works as far as a different platform, because I've never worked on a front wheel drive Toyota before, and let alone a 2ZZ, which I'm quickly realizing how amazing these engines are and how underrated they are, and no one knows about them, which I personally love. I love a good engine that no one really knows about. If only these engines were able to be in rear-wheel drive configurations, that'd be so sick. Unfortunately, they can't though, because there are no transmissions that can go up to them that I know of. It'd be cool to look into that, so I might look into that, but I have no intentions on rear-wheel drive swapping this engine into anything. But I do want to all-wheel drive swap this, which there is a few things online that I've read, but we're getting ahead of ourselves on that. Now we're gonna go ahead and drop the oil pan, and now I also want to get the front and rear engine mounts done, and then I cannot forget, after we're all done with this, to fill the fluids up as well. Also, I'm gonna go in the back where the exhaust meets the muffler, and I'm just gonna see how not only the car sounds without the muffler, but also how it performs, because I think that muffler is really bogging the flow of air going out. So I'm just gonna see how it sounds. It's probably gonna sound really horrible, which I'm not planning on running it like that. That's basically a straight pipe. It does have a cat, so it kind of acts like a resonator, but I definitely want to see how it sounds, and then if it sounds like absolute crap, I'm gonna reconnect it. But I just want to see how it goes. That was sketchy. I'm not gonna lie, in that moment I felt like Cho. Pop that off so I can breathe. Oh, I got so stuck. Oh, I don't know why that happened. That was kind of concerning, but oh well. Ew. Yeah, before I do anything, I'm gonna wire wheel all this because that's disgusting. If all people took care of cars like car guys did, we'd have a lot more cars on the road, that's for damn sure. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep. Had a feeling. Nice. Man, if ATF was great for your skin, I'd have the nicest looking skin right now, but definitely is not that, unfortunately. Top one's a lot easier. Not with one hand, but it's definitely a lot easier. So I'm trusting you guys there. Don't fall, okay? Do not fall. You got a blade, guys, and always remember, cut away from yourself and cut long. Don't cut short. Do that to cars only. Only to cars. I'm proud of it, but I also want it to be gone. So that is done. Now take the clamps off and return it. Return them to its original owner. It's always good to test fit new parts, even if they are OEM like equivalent, because the last thing you want to do is go to install something and it doesn't fit or whatever the case. So alright, so we got the oil pan off. I really don't know what the previous owner used for our TV. I don't think this oil pan's ever been replaced since it came off the assembly line, to be honest with you, because this RTV, it's like, I don't know, it's like an orange RTV, which Toyota uses, but Nissan uses more, and I have no idea. So we're gonna go ahead and clean all of it up and put some FIPG, which is the Toyota RTV gasket maker. Everything looks good though. Oil pickup looks very, very good. No revenants in there at all. And other than that, everything just looks real nice. A little bit discolored just from the oil, but no sludge, no nothing. And then the valve covers look good too. If you guys remember the valve cover gasket replacement video we did in the first preventive maintenance video we did on the Matrix. We also put the new hose on the power steering, and that is looking nice and secure, and it fits really well, and it snakes down really nicely. So glad that's we're able to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly clean all this up, and then gonna try to just put a layer of FIPG on the oil pan, which is up there, because I don't want anything falling in. All right, now talking start. My neck hurts really bad. Let's get this done real quick. Let's do it. All right, so thing is totally clean. That took a long time, I ain't gonna lie, but I'd rather take the time to clean it up right so that we don't have oil leaks in the future. I also cleaned the base of it as best as I could. I'll clean it up more once we get it back onto the car. But now we are gonna go ahead and put some of the special sauce on it, which is gonna be Toyota's FIPG seal packing, Toyota and Lexus. The part number is going to be right there. If you guys are interested, 00295 00103. So ahead and get this thing installed. I'm actually super excited to install this thing again so that we don't have any more leaks, because that is the overall goal. Let's go ahead and get this thing back up into the engine. I need to apologize to you guys because I have not picked up the camera at all and filmed any of this, because the one thing I do not like the most is having to move things around very slightly to get the engine back together. And what I mean by that is I've spent probably the last couple hours trying to get that mount, so that mount in right there, and finally getting the rear mount in as well, because the engine was tilted in a way where the front was too high and the rear was too low. So basically I had to rotate it counterclockwise, so everything lines up. The only problem is that I cannot have the camera on because I'm just moving around a lot trying to figure out what movement needs to happen in order to get it aligned right. And as you can tell behind me, like usual, sun's setting, sun's going down, and I'd really like to not be out here in the cold. I would like to just wake up tomorrow and put the fluids in and not have to worry about anything else, so to speak. So I apologize to you guys, because yeah, sometimes getting these jobs done, especially like getting a couple jobs done where I did the front and rear motor mount on this, I also did the oil pan and the clutch obviously, and the power steering line hose. All of those things together just means more taking things apart and more things I have to figure out as I go. It's not super simple, unfortunately, where like for one motor mount you would just take it off, lift the engine transmission, take it off, and then put it back together. The rear one's probably the hardest one because you will not be able to get it out at all without taking the transmission out. Like, I don't know who has done it without doing it. If you have out there, props to you guys, because I'm not manly enough to do that. You have to take, from my experience, from what I've seen or what I'm experienced so far, you have to take the transmission out in order to get that rear one, because there's just not enough space. There's just not enough space to do it. So what I had to do is shimmy this, so this all is nice and tight other than that bolt right there, which I'm going to tighten up. But I wanted to get the rear mount in, which none of the bolts in the rear are bolted down. I just wanted to get the engine mount and the engine aligned in the rear, which it is nice and aligned now, which took a lot of effort. But the good thing is we are on the home stretch. As soon as the rear engine mount is in, everything else is in as far as engine mounts go, so everything is on the home stretch. After we do the rear engine mount, all I have to do is make sure all the bolts in the rear are tight and all the bolts in the front are tight. See you guys tomorrow when we put the fluids in and get the first drive. Let's get it done. Let's do this. Okay, this is day number 3, final day, hopefully. Anyways, I can think of a million different reasons why I do not want to work on this car right now. One of the reasons is because it's cold, windy, and it's about to rain. Literally, it's about to rain. But the thing is, I got everything put back together last night, so that all I have to do now, like right now, is put the fluids in, so put the oil and the gear oil in, and then make sure everything's tight as far as the oil drain plug. I will not lie though, I do need to pick me up today, and as you guys know, I love my coffee. Unfortunately, I ran out of milk, and I can't go get any milk because my car is down, but I did get some of these. They are energy drinks, but they're different, I'm hoping. That's why I'm trying this right now, to see how it affects me. But as you guys know, or if I haven't told you already, I can't drink regular energy drinks because it gets me very cranky because of just my ADHD and how I function. If I take energy drinks, I basically get, you know, good burst of energy, but then after that I get really cranky and just it's not a good time. I don't like how I am on energy drinks, but this has yerba mate in it. It's Zambazon. I used to just drink the acai berry juices back when I lived in Hawaii. So got these at Foodland, and I'm gonna try these out because these are basically the same thing as yerba mate, which yerba mate is actually a caffeine, like it has caffeine in it, but it's a brand also, obviously. And I wanted to, I didn't want to get yerba mate because I didn't want a tea, but I wanted to try this out. So let's crack it open and see what it does. Because I do need my energy drinks, like I need to pick me up for sure. So hopefully this goes well. But everything in it's organic. Ooh, it tastes really good too. I'm hoping this is the thing that the end all be all. I'm kind of excited actually because this stuff is amazing. It's organic caffeine and yerba mate, green tea, and guarana. I hope I said that right, but it's good. Good source of energy, and it's not bad for you. Obviously, it has all organic ingredients in it, including cane sugar, which is important to me because I only want to put in my body the things that my body naturally needs anyways, like organic ingredients. Like that's all it has. It doesn't have anything I can't say other than stuff that I can't pronounce anyways. That's organic and natural, but I'm excited to try these out. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully this will help me get this all finished and get this car back on the road. Let's go, done. Okay, little update for you guys. I went to go put oil in the engine, and I went to go underneath the car to inspect that there was no leaks, and yeah, we got a slight leak right there, which ended up meaning the oil pan had to come off, unfortunately. It was leaking really bad from the rear of it, from right here. You can see how the oil kind of groups up right there, and it was also leaking from like right there. So the last thing I wanted to do was pull the oil pan, because I now know that FIPG takes 2 hours to cure, as far as it takes 2 hours to set so you can put fluid in it, but then 24 hours to cure. And it had set nicely. The only problem is there was little areas like this where you can see there's no coverage at all. And I was putting FIPG on lightly because that's what I usually do for like the newer oil pans I get. Obviously this isn't new. This surface isn't completely flat all the way around. It does have some grooves and divots from just millions of miles. So I already cleaned up the surface on the engine, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this surface as well. And this time around I'm gonna put a lot. I'm just gonna put thick bead around the entire oil pan outside the ground. So I'm just gonna put the thickest bead around the entire oil pan, and hopefully that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this nice and clean really quickly, and I'll see you guys after that. Last thing I wanted to do, but hey, you know what? If this is the only thing holding this car from running, then I'm okay with that. This whole project has had its fair shares of surprises, but I would rather experience them and know them and get through them than have everything go perfectly fine and not have run into these things, because they make me learn a lot, even though they suck. And I'm the kind of guy that I'm just gonna go in, get it done, not gonna ask questions, because the longer you ask questions, or the more you ask, the more you don't want to do it, or the more you try to like fix it. I was actually going to just stuff some FIPG in the cracks so that they didn't leak, but I knew that was going to be a bandage fix. It wasn't going to work, and oil was just going to come out, and I was going to waste time, material, all that stuff. So instead, just drop the oil pan. It is going to rain. Literally, it's about to rain right now. So I'm going to try to get this done as soon as possible and get on the car so I can go inside and let it sit for 2 hours, maybe 4, and then basically after that, put in oil and go on a test drive. So that's the plan. Hopefully we make it. All right, it has been a few hours later, so I just put oil into the car, and we're gonna go underneath and make sure that there's no more leaks from anywhere. preferably the spot that was leaking, so no oil coming out from anywhere underneath that I can see. This kind of got me paranoid a little bit because I don't want to see any speck of oil. We're good. I put a lot of the FIPG on, like a lot. So I'm actually kind of nervous to see what the car sounds like with the exhaust kind of out. So we're gonna try it out. Oh, not bad at all. Sounds pretty good actually. Not gonna lie. I don't know how it's gonna be revving up, but sounds pretty good right now. Sweet. Ooh, almost a perfect pull. So close to a perfect pull. Alright, I think this is gonna be kind of a pain to get on. Well, I hopefully will look back at this clip and be like, oh, that's why that happened. So unfortunately, this is what happens when you do too many things at once, and I should learn it by now, but I was like, while you're in there, you might as well do everything. But I'm gonna go start the car, which sounds great, by the way. Like, I don't know why. I haven't put it under load, like, and drove it obviously yet, but like, it sounds good. Like, it sounds like it has an exhaust. I think with the resonator, it actually has a cat and a resonator. It sounds pretty good. But here's the issue. You put it in first, just like that. And yeah, you can just, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. The engine shaking, it's a transmission thing, I think, because once you give it, yep, there you go, you can see it. It's, as soon as it, yep, it's shaking and it's doing some vibrations. Something's wrong with the clutch. Oh, you can really hear it now. I think the clutch disc probably dropped in there. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to drop the clutch again and look. But this is the learning experience, unfortunately. Everything else works except for that rattle, and I don't know why that is, but it's unfortunate. And if I didn't have work tomorrow, I would drop the transmission right now, but I just don't feel like doing all of that, unfortunately. I'm gonna end the video here, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video so you guys can see the next video of me dropping the transmission and doing all of those, and we'll go from there. But this is gonna be the hardest thing to say, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I definitely wish it ended differently, but that's the way it is. Learning one step at a time, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mahalo for watching. Appreciate you guys so much, and and never forget, guys, always stay positive, or try to, and stay true to who you are. I'll see you guys in the next episode where we're gonna figure this out, fix it, and hopefully this will all be a laughing matter in the end. So see you guys in the next video. Laters. Take care. Peace. Bye.
Search everywhere.